So there we go then. Villoresi starting this new season on pole position. Taruffi and Ascari, they will both want to get level with him. Taruffi has a world championship to defend. Ascari has to prove people wrong and make up for last season. He's made a good start so far. Taruffi very much all over the place, and he drops back behind Piero. Villoresi having a little bit of a moment there as well, and there's moments from the Maseratis in the background there. So Ascari though, he leads comfortably. He is looking for a repeat of last season. Oh, that's Trantino, I think. Certainly one of the simcagordinis up and over, and he won't be continuing the race, that's for sure. That is a retirement. Jeanbehra though in the lead. Simcagordini up in third place, doing a really good job, giving Luigi Villoresi a hard time. Ascari is in a race of his own, just like he was here last year. Now there's Manzon, and look, Behra is in a slide, and Behra is off. Well, that's a massive journey over the scenery there, and it looks like he can continue, but he's quite a way off the track, and he's lost quite a lot of ground there, Jeanbehra. Major shame for the Frenchman, and that's a Ferrari off. That is Simon who has gone off and retired from racing. Behra has had another moment coming back onto the track. Well, now he gathers it up, but that's it's left a bit of a distorted front end for that simcagordini. There's no options for driver per race, so I'm believing that this. Whoa, that's a spin for the other simcagordini of Manzon. He was in third. He is certainly not in third now. So the simcagordinis have had great positions, but they've slipped off and let themselves down. Unlike Alfa Romeo last season, though, they stay in the race. And look at Taruffi now. He might actually get an opportunity. Very much all over the back of Luigi Villoresi. Taruffi now trying to get the run. This is a big opportunity. He's not going to beat Ascari, but he might be able to finish in second and give himself the best chance to have a run at him at the start of round 2 in Indianapolis. A pretty clear indication here that Ferrari are miles ahead of everybody, and simcagordini, they're not too far off, but are they going to be able to challenge Ferrari for wins? I can't see it. It's still a massive improvement for them compared to where they were last season. I know that.
Has retired in sector 1.
Oh no, Taruffi is out. Oh, Taruffi is out. Now I'm sure that last season this was a 2-lap race and Taruffi would have finished on the podium, but this year it is a 3-lap race and Taruffi is out. So the title defence is not going according to plan. Piero Taruffi out of the race, and this means that Rogerlaurent on his debut is in third in that Ferrari. What a superb performance. Manzon in fourth, and Behra, in spite of his massive misadventures earlier in the race, is very much in 5th place, and I think he's the last runner. We only have 5 runners left in this Grand Prix. Here comes Alberto Ascari now through the final real corner. Still got one more little bend to go before he crosses the line. And there's Villoresi in second, and he's had an uninhibited run to second place since Taruffi retired from the Grand Prix. Massive shame for the world champion. He is already on the back foot, but the guy who feels that he could have won the world championship last year starts in the best possible way to 1952 with a victory in Switzerland. Alberto Ascari, can he keep it up this year? Can he maintain his start and get an outstanding victory? So Ascari ready to get off the line again. He's got Villoresi and Laurent alongside him. What can those two do? And what can Ascari do? Well, it's a bit of a slowish initial start from Ascari, and Villoresi taking the position, but I'm not sure now. Villoresi drops back slightly, and it's Laurent who is challenging Ascari, and that's an off for Frere already. A little bit of issue at the back, and Laurent, well, I think he tried to get alongside Ascari, but he's gone to the grass, and Laurent spins off. Doesn't somehow miraculously take anybody with him, but Laurent is already going to be down the field as Taruffi has made an incredible start. The world champion up from 6th on the grid to 2nd place. This opens up possibilities for him now, but Ascari, amongst all that chaos, has already got a monumental lead on the first lap here in Indianapolis. Well, I think it's that Laurent battling with Farina, or is that Taruffi and Ascari? Taruffi and Villoresi. I think that's Taruffi and Villoresi. Well, it was. What is that? Villoresi, I think, has made a mistake. He has gone around trying to defend from Taruffi, and Villoresi drops down, and he is back in, I think, something like 8th or 9th place now, Luigi Villoresi. So that has cost him. That was a big moment in this race because it frees the world champion Taruffi up to run second on his own, unobstructed. But it also means Villoresi has got to fight back, and the pit crews have started coming out. So we will see. What does this affect? Does this affect or change things? Ascari Is he going to pit?
In the pits.
Yes, he is. Ascari's coming in.
Alan Brown.
And will anybody else come in? I think most of them are coming in. Taruffi is coming in as well.
Frazernash.
Already in the pits.
As well as saying, Taruffi's had a spin in the pit lane. Oh no, that's not good. And he's going to be now not getting a priority in the pit stop. So that's going to make a mess of it. Villoresi has stayed out. So Villoresi moves back up into second place. Ascari has already got out of the pits, back in the lead. But Villoresi moves up into second place. And
has retired in sector 2.
yeah, Ascari leading, Villoresi second.
There's a spin
And
in sector 2. Watch for the yellow flags.
then who is in third now?
Jeanbehra.
Is unable to continue. He's
Well, it's not
retired in
Behra. I think
sector
that the pit
1.
lane's doing its usual thing of taking quite a few drivers out. And Transion is up in the third in the simcagordini, but he has had a little bit of a moment there with the wall. So that's not ideal. Manzon, Laurent is in the fifth place, recovered to fifth after spinning off early. But I think there's only like
Piero
6 runners left already.
Has retired in
Taruffi
sector
is out of the
1.
Grand Prix. So, yeah, the pit lane has claimed Taruffi among many others. So, just like last season, we've seen the world champion has not yet managed to score any points. That is insanely frustrating. We want to see the world champion be able to at least fight to hold on to his world championship, at least be competitive, or at least
In the pits.
some way in it, but Taruffi is not, and that is a major shame for Piero Taruffi. It looks like they're going to basically do what they did in Monza last year and pit every lap, because Ascari is in again, and I believe that's Ascari we're following. A little bit confused. Yes, it is. And there's Villoresi in. He didn't pit last time, but Villoresi has done what Taruffi did. Now, can he keep going?
7 laps.
I think so. He's covered it up quicker. And of course, there's less cars around now, so there is more room to manoeuvre. But there's more cars around in the pit lane, so you don't want to have too much of an issue going through there. I think Villoresi recovers sensibly and well enough. And then Trantignon still in third. He avoids the pit lane this time, trying to make up a bit of ground on those Ferraris. Laurent pitting, running up against the wall there. Curiously, Manzon and then Bonetto now running in sixth in the Maserati. And De Graffenried running in seventh, although I'm trying to get a closer view on De Graffenried because he seems to be running very, very slowly. He is. Yeah, De Graffenried is having major issues. And the guy who was a World Championship challenger last year was hoping to put him start in the points. And Trantignon's had another moment. Well, he's got to be careful because if he keeps having moments like that, he's not going to finish this race. Trantignon, what's Trantignon doing? Is he still in the race or is he spun? There was always Trantignon has spun. There was already another simcagordini spun down there. Possibly, I think, Manzon as he was trying to enter the pit lane earlier. And now Trantignon joins him in the spin, but Trantignon does continue. And I think, well, we're down to 4 cars running. De Graffenried is still running, but he is so far back and he's lost quite a lot of laps. So De Graffenried's going to have to keep running for a few more laps in order to make his way up into the points. Laurent classified third, and that's Trantignon in the pit lane, and he seems to be going very, very slowly. And as he just hit the wall one too many times, I wonder, is he going to be able to get out? It doesn't look like it, does it? No, Trantignon is a retirement as well. So, how many cars are running now?
Retired in sector 1.
I think, I'm not even sure if De Graffenried's still running. I think he might have pulled in. He has. So, it's just those 2 Ferraris who started in the top 2 positions on the grid. They're the only ones still running. Ascari and Villoresi. Well, this is one way to maintain your 1-2. And it's now, Ascari is now in a slide. We said he wasn't sliding in pit lane. He has that time. He's survived it, thankfully for Ascari. Well, we have potentially not a lot to commentate on now because Ascari is leading. He's 11 seconds clear of Villoresi. And they're the only 2 drivers left in the race. So here Ascari comes then out of the final turn. It is going to be 2 wins from 2 in 1952 for Alberto Ascari. And just like I believe we saw it, was it Silverstone last year? The race winner is going to cross the line in pit lane. He's not stopping, is he? No, he's gathered it up. Cool, that was a heart-stopping moment. I thought he's gone a lot slower than what we've seen when drivers have spun in previous laps. But Ascari is going to cross the line very soon. And there we go. Ascari wins the 1952 United States Grand Prix. It's 2 wins from 2. He has the championship lead and he maintains that. He goes up to 4 points clear. So fantastic drive from Ascari, just controlled the race from start to finish. Villoresi did his job, let his experience show, held the car together, finished second, only the only other driver to finish the race distance. So there we go then, Ascari on pole position, ready to go. Be interesting to see who gets off the line quickest, and the Villoresi and Trantagnon also there on the front row. Here we go then. So Villoresi makes the best initial start, but Ascari is starting to gain traction now, and he pulls across into the lead. Villoresi trying to hold on to second place ahead of Trantagnon, who is right there, but he's very unstable, and this is going to blow his third place, and he's taken Laurent with him. Rogerlaurent, who's had a good start to his Formula 1 career, the Belgian, he comes to his home Grand Prix, and he is wiped out, and he falls back quite a way, and that's someone else off. Bonetto in the Maserati, so already a blown opportunity for Maserati. Look at Walton up to 7th, Piero there, Fischer up to 4th. Don't know where Taruffi is, but Ascari leading Villoresi, and Villoresi is staying close to him, very close to him indeed. This might be an opportunity to stop Ascari winning 3 races in a row today. And Villoresi still trying to look at the thing is, every time he swerves out to try to get an alternative line, A, he loses the slipstream, B, he loses a bit of grip, and it puts him back into the place that he was before, where he's got to try to find the advantage over his teammate again. There comes Behra again having a look at Fischer, and that is closed off, but he is closer than ever. We've not got a lot of time left in this race now, and there are still things to decide and to try to happen. And here we come to the final corner with Ascari. Villoresi still there and not close enough to have a look down the inside, so he's going to hold on to second. It will be a third 1-2 for these guys in this very order. Alberto Ascari wins the Belgian Grand Prix. Luigi Villoresi does finish in second place, only 6 tenths behind him. Well, Ascari had to work for that one. So Ascari there, ready on the grid, Villoresi alongside him. What's going to happen? The French Grand Prix has moved this season to Rouen, and we'll see what this circuit has to offer. Ascari is away well, and Villoresi is away very well. He's going to continue that pursuit that he was doing so enthusiastically in Belgium, and you can hear the thunder in the background there, but at the moment it's still dry, and Ascari leading, Villoresi there. Manzon is in third place, looking to continue from his podium in Spa, and really there we go, and trying to have a look at Villoresi, but then has to cut him behind, and Fischer will now be able to have a look at robertmanzon. So it is Manzon in the slide. We saw him get a little bit leery there. It's unfortunately this track is delivering a lot of tree Grand Prix, so Manzon is still in third place. We need to change his camera angles, I think, because we're not seeing much of the cars. We're going to have to go to some of the onboard and TV cameras and stuff. And there we go, Simon is up in the fourth. So don't know what's happened to Fischer. He's made a mistake somewhere. He's dropped back behind both Simon and Laurent, and there is a spin for Peter Collins and one of the Ferraris. Not quite sure which one it is, but that is the Ferrari obviously tried to get inside Collins, and Collins has got to make the block, and that is how they have collided. So there we go, and there is Simon now up in the fourth place, but Villoresi and Ascari Villoresi, and the amazing thing is Manzon is keeping up his pursuit here as well in that Gordini. He is matching those Ferraris pretty well. Ascari getting a little bit of a gap now, but that gap is not guaranteed, I don't think. There's Ascari now on board, and then Villoresi. Villoresi is having a look. He wants to try to get through, and I think the rain has just started to come down. So this makes them think, is anybody going to pit this lap, or are they? I think it's too early. Surely it's too early for a pit stop, although I don't know, because it's getting quite heavy quite quickly, but I think that they've already made their minds up. Ascari, Villoresi, Manzon, they're all going to stay out. I think they're all hoping that this is just going to be a short, sharp shower and it's going to pass, because they are staying out and they are trying to do everything they can to now keep it on the road whilst we are in a rain shower. Andre Simon still in fourth place, and then he's there. Oh, there's a run a bit wide from the Ferrari in sixth. And look at those three all running wide. They obviously, a last minute pit stop might have worked out better for them on this occasion, but Ascari continues to lead. Villoresi second, Manzon third, so still no change in the order, but certainly a change in the weather. It is very slippery, it is very tricky, and I'll be very surprised if we don't see some sort of drama happen here as they all run wide and glump into the barrier a little bit, but they're all still in the race. and Ascari's there. Manzon might have a chance to get down the inside of Villoresi here. This is the home Grand Prix for the Frenchman, don't forget, and Manzon has the chance to make that move. Is he going to go for it? He's going for it, and I think he's through. Robert Manzon, so up in the second place. Now, can he set about Alberto Ascari? Let's see. Ascari still has that lead, and once again they're running wide, and I wonder, can they possibly hope to continue without a pit stop? Well, Manzon is trying to have a look, but he's all crossed up, and that's going to let Villoresi through, surely, and it does. And what a shame. Great hard work from Manzon, but it's been thrown away. But now Villoresi's running wide, and Manzon has a chance to get back through, and he's done it. Back in the second place. Ascari still holds the lead. He is having a faultless season so far, and it's looking like continuing, although this is a wet race and anything can happen. To Taruffi up in the fourth place and Fischer in the fifth. You can see now where experience is making the difference as they both get past Simon and Laurent. Yeah, we can hear that some are getting ready for pit stops here, so I wonder how many going to pit. Considering the conditions, it might be all of them. And what's going to happen, this brings us back to some horrible memories of last season when everybody pitted and the guy who got furthest won the race. It was a different track, but same scenario, although it's much wetter here today and they've survived on slicks for a lot longer. But Ascari now, I think, is he preparing to pit? You can't see it. There's a massive fog come over, and it is massively overcast, and you just cannot see anything. Villoresi stays out, as he's been known to do this season, stays out. He's going to take the gamble that he can keep it on the road and that Ascari and Manzon can't make up the gap. But in these conditions, it's possible that they might just do it. Oh, Ascari is out! They have, so once again, the AI cannot handle pitting, and I think everybody who pits is going to be out, and there's a lot pitting there. Look, all those three Ferraris there, and one has twisted the other around. I think they're all going to be out, although he might be carrying on anyway. Villoresi leading, I think Taruffi is up in the second place. The world champion might have a chance of getting not just some points, but a decent podium here. Fischer up in the third, and jeanbehra in fourth. And it looks to me like everybody else is pulling out of the race. They just don't want to do these conditions. Well, this is an opportunity for Villoresi. Ascari might have won the first three races, but he isn't going to win this one. And by being consistent, Villoresi has finished second in each race so far, and he'll actually give himself a chance to lead the World Championship, should he be able to finish this race in one piece. Taruffi and Fischer are battling hard. Taruffi is playing it easy. He doesn't want to over push it. Needs to get some points off the mark. Fischer is also pushing him. So there's only 4 runners left, and there's Rudi Fischer now going down the past Piero Taruffi and into second place. He is prepared to take more risk. Clearly Taruffi just wants to get some points. I think he hasn't got any points yet this season. Villoresi is off, but now he's back on again. Well, I think this has definitely been the race of the season so far. We have seen pretty much just standard dull domination from Ferrari in the first 3 races, but it's, even though it's still domination from Ferrari, it has come in a much different way today, and we're made to be seen just how it's going to finish off, because there's 4 runners left. And here's Luigi Villoresi coming now towards the end of the lap through the tight hairpin, and Villoresi, he is absolutely determined. He's very, very close now to taking his first victory of 1952, to take the lead in the World Championship. And it shows you just one retirement has done that for Ascari, and he's going to have a big gap to make up in the next race. And here comes Villoresi, crosses the line and wins the French Grand Prix. Fantastic performance from Luigi Villoresi today. Stayed out and it paid off. And Fischer finishes second. Piero Taruffi in third. The world champion finally registers his first points finish and podium of the season. So here we go then. Villoresi getting ready to start from that pole position. He's got a lot of stiff competition there in the front row. He's got Taruffi, he's got Fischer, and he's got Behra. They all want to try to steal the march here at Silverstone, and it's very close off of the line, and the guys in the middle barely got anywhere to go and having to bash his way out. I didn't see who that was, but Taruffi, the world champion, takes the lead at the start. So really well done for Piero Taruffi. Villoresi holds on a second, but he's got Fischer coming through, and this is going to be quite the fight for Luigi Villoresi if he wants to repass and hold off Rudi Fischer. Those 3 Ferraris at the front. Behra, for now, holds on to his 4th place. It's been a year and a half for Farina. Would love to get some points today. Ascari hasn't really made any progress, and Roger Laurent was up in the 6th place, but he's now had a spin I don't know. I don't think he got tapped by the Gordini. I think he just,
Already in the
got a little bit loose on the wet surface, and around he went. And look, Behra's there in fourth, and I think Manzon is in 6th. So it is very much, and the pit lane is open, by the way. So it's very much Transignon, I think, who went out in that Gordini, or went off at least. So Taruffi continues to lead, and Villoresi, who normally is the one to stay out, has pitted in early. He must have learned his lesson from France. I don't think he has. Is he going to be able to finish the race? I don't know. It's Ferrari sitting in the middle of the track there. It's Villoresi. I guess the pit lane booted him out. Villoresi then is there, and looks to me like he is out of the Grand Prix. So this could open the championship up a little bit, because Ascari still way down. I think has moved up a bit with people pitting. Yes, he has. He's up in the 6th place, but at the moment still not in the points. Top 5 scored points in 1952, remember. And Ken Walton, the home driver in the frazernash, is still a reasonable distance ahead of Ascari. So the guy who did lead the World Championship, who could lead the World Championship today if he finishes 4th or higher. But at the moment he is quite a way off of that 4th place. You can see Manzon there in that 4th place, and that is the gap back to Ascari. And Farina, look, up into the podium places. So not only gets the points down with the podium, but Taruffi has dropped behind Fischer somewhere. I don't think we saw how it happened. Maybe the eagle-eyed of you might look back and spot it. I didn't, because we were focused on the championship leader retiring from the Grand Prix. But Rudifischer is not only ahead of Piero Taruffi, but he is nice and comfortably ahead of Piero Taruffi. So here's Walter now under pressure from Ascari. Ascari going for the points. The British crowd want to see their car finish in 5th place. But Alberto Ascari is on a very quick Ferrari, and he has even more reason to push for position today with Ascari out, and with Villoresi out. And there goes Ascari now through into the 5th position, into the points. Alberto Ascari would be level on points with Luigi Villoresi if they finish as they are. Manzon is quite a way ahead. There's Farina, there's Taruffi, and there is Fischer. Fischer continues to lead. Don't think Taruffi's got much hope of taking the position from him. You look at that some certain angles he looks close, but then you look at other angles and it really isn't close. Well, apparently Ferrari are waiting to bring in another car. So who is that for? This could be interesting. I hope it's not for any of the top 3. They're all on for their best finish of the year. Remember, it's only been Ascari and Villoresi who are in the top 2 up till France. In France, of course, Ascari retired, and it's Fischer. Fischer now is the same thing going to happen to him as happened to Villoresi. I fear it might be predictable. And this, look, he's pulled over. I thought he was going to take Taruffi out for a minute. He hasn't. But the world champion leads the Grand Prix. Farina up into 2nd. So going well for Ferrari, but not for Rudifischer. He is out of the race. Rudifischer, what a shame. Piero Taruffi now with a chance to win the Grand Prix that he led from the start. And it's good. It'll be the first time in Formula 1 in the short history so far we have seen a defending champion win the race, because Fagioli couldn't even get a point last season. So Taruffi is now giving us a bunch of firsts. First podium for a defending champion in France, and now potentially a first win for a defending champion here in Silverstone. But he's still got a lap to go. Farina continues to hold on to 2nd. There is Manzon in 3rd place behind Farina. Once again, the simcagordinis, due to Ferrari's not having a completely clean race, managed to sneak onto the podium, as long as Ascari doesn't catch him. But Alberto Ascari very much running out of time now as Piero Taruffi rounds the final corner, and Piero Taruffi is going to win the British Grand Prix. Fantastic performance. The world champion is back, and Taruffi is back on top in Formula 1. Taruffi then on pole. Now, we've been talking about Ascari and Villoresi, but Piero Taruffi, he's not out of it yet. He will have other ideas, but can he act on them? There we go, they're all away well from the line. Ascari a bit slow in the others. Manzon's away quite well, and Farina, they're all going a bit crossed up in the middle there. I think that's Farina going wide, and he would have gone off, but he bumped into Ascari, and that kept him on line. And amazingly, no incidents for either of those two, and they keep going. So Taruffi then, he is actually under pressure from Manzon's Gordini here. Well, didn't expect this. That simcagordini looks quite competitive. Is it just early stages, or will it remain competitive throughout the race? We'll have to see. But I mean, the Gordini's kept up with the Ferraris in several races this year. They haven't looked like a genuine threat to pass them, apart from in France, but that was obviously very wet. But Manzon wants to make up for not being able to get that French result, not being able to see that entire race pan out before he went out of it. And Manzon, he's going to have a look. He can't get past Taruffi yet. Taruffi, is he pacing himself or is he genuinely struggling for pace? We know generally he has not been the fastest Ferrari driver this year, but at the moment he is the guy with the track position. I am of the view, and I've had comments as well on the channel, that would be very surprised if Ferrari don't win all the races. But as I say that, Manzon is alongside Taruffi. Who comes out in front there? Coming over the hill, it's Manzon in front. Wow, that is incredible. So, well, now Gordini are staring down the barrel of a victory. Manzon not only has passed Taruffi, but he's pulling away. Taruffi clearly with not a lot of pace, but the British teams, they came good at Silverstone, but now they're back to where they normally are, and Taruffi is coming back at Manzon now, and there goes the Ferrari down the inside. Piero Taruffi, there is some confidence. That is the world champion, driving like the world champion, absolutely nailing that Gordini on the brakes, and look at how quickly Manzon has fallen back, and has he just shot his bolt too early? Is that it now? Are Gordini doomed to finishing in second position in this race? Wow, what a race we are watching here. Piero Taruffi not got far to go now to claim the victory, but Robert Manzon, Giuseppe Farina, Alberto Ascari and Maurice Trantignon, they are all bothering him, very much bothering him, bothering his mirrors, and Manzon is again looking for a way around him. Clearly it's getting towards the end of the race now. Manzon has gone into let's just go for it mode now, because Taruffi, he's the world champion, he's kind of got something to lose. He had that mentality. Manzon has never been in a championship fight before, but a victory here would keep him. Well, he's going for it! He's going for it! And through goes Manzon! And I was saying victory here, if Taruffi finishes second even, victory here would move Manzon up to third. And he would only be 11 points off Ascari. That's assuming Ascari finishes fourth. So Manzon is potentially still in the championship fight. It's going to be quite the epic grandstand finish to the season. We are 6 races in. There are 2 to go. If you are enjoying this, please do remember to like and subscribe and hit the bell button for notifications, because there are still 2 races to go in the season, and it is looking like this championship is going to be absolutely enthralling. And Robert Manzon, he is indeed going to come along and claim the victory in Nürburgring. Crosses the line to fantastic applause. Who saw that coming? I certainly didn't. Ferrari do not have 100% of the victories this year, because Gordini, simcagordini and Robert Manzon have gone and taken it from them. So it is damp, it is going to dry up, but they're all on wet tyres in a minute, so they will at some point need to come in and change them. That might mean that no one finishes the race, but we'll see. Manzon is away well, and then you have, is that Farina, I think, made a strong start, got up in the second place. I think he's ahead of Taruffi, and having a look at the simcagordini. Manzon and Farina's just caught in there, and Taruffi, Manzon, sorry, in a slight little slide. Well, these 1952 cars are tricky to handle at the best of times. So Manzon has made a second mistake. This time he wasn't touched, but he went up here at the curb, and Robert Manzon, his world championship hopes will now virtually be over, and one of the, I think that's the Cooper or an Alta, has gone into the back of Manzon. Manzon is okay, but Poor in the Connaught, sorry, it's a Connaught. Well, Poor is out of the race. So Robert Manzon's world championship hopes all but over here, as he has dropped right down into the midfield. Farina has a prize opportunity now. Farina is in the lead of the race. You've got Trantignon in third. I think is it still Taruffi in second? Yes, it is. Ascari is in fourth place, and then you've got Simon in fifth, running ahead of Fischer and Villoresi. Villoresi yet to make progress, and he will want to try to make it somehow in this race, this Dutch Grand Prix.
Ferrari.
Trantignon, simcagordini's main hope now of continuing to stay up there. Ferrari, they're going to bring cars out in the pits. Now this is where it's going to get interesting. What happens? Farina has made a mistake. Farina is off. Similar to Manzon, threw away the lead, and Farina, that was the oh, and he's taken off another Ferrari. I think that was Fischer. Farina has taken Fischer off. Villoresi moves up to 6th place, but still not on the points yet. Here we go. Let's. Who is pitting? Taruffi stays out. Trantignon is in, and I think Ascari and Farina, well, all those Ferraris who are in the top 5 have gone out, have come in, and that means Villoresi is back to his old strategy of staying out, and Villoresi moves up into 2nd place. So really good potentially for Luigi Villoresi. This might put him back in the championship league going to the final race. I think Ascari is going to come out something like 8th or 9th. There's absolute chaos and bedlam in that pit lane, and a lot of those cars have fallen back. Well, we shall see, because They might have to fight back now because we know that a lot of these cars like to stay out, but it's getting so dry. Can they stay out on wets? They might have to come in. There's Ascari is up behind the Grafenried. Can't afford to get held up behind that Maserati for too long. Needs to try to make the move because this is damaging his championship hopes with Villoresi seemingly in position. If Villoresi was to finish in third. Oh, that's a big off. Who is that? That's Manzon is off again. He's got back into the top 6 and he's off again. Fisher was there. Is that Villoresi who's off? Or is that Rogerlaurent? Let's see. Taruffi leads across the line. Taruffi into the second half of the race now. Rogerlaurent there. So it was Villoresi who went off. How is that going to affect him? He's still in a little group, but it's given Ascari chance to catch up. And I think quite a few of those guys in that pack have still got to pit. And that's one of the Ferraris. We can't see what one it is at the moment because the classification is going on. But
Ascari.
he has had to pit. And Ascari is out. You can hear Ascari is out. I think what he must have tried to go for the move on the Grafenried. It didn't work out when he's lost the wheel. And that's Ascari out of the race. I don't believe it. Well, this is another great classic race on this channel and really enjoying it once again as Ascari goes out of the race, but Villoresi is on damage limitation. This is opening the door for Piero Taruffi to have a really strong chance of defending his world championship in Monza. Yes, he'll still be behind, but if he's starting at the front and Villoresi and Ascari are in the midfield, Taruffi is going to have an amazing opportunity. He is miles clear at the front. He is really pulling out well. Rogerlaurent in second. He's having a great race. Villoresi in third. Transignon fourth. Jeanbehra in fifth place. You'll see Collins is coming through. And Collins, I think he's stuck in gear, but at the moment he's going past Villoresi. And Peter Collins and the outer is into the top 5, into the points at the moment. Manzon stuck behind. Is that Thompson? He's stuck behind. Jeanbehra's in fourth. Laurent is in third. Transignon in second. Taruffi in first. So the race has had so many different shuffles here today, but it looks like it might finally be setting down with Piero Taruffi leading Maurice Transignon. Rogerlaurent looks like he's going to be reclaiming his early season podium form, so really good from him. Jeanbehra in fourth, and look, Villoresi has caught Collins already. Collins is struggling round, missing a gear, and Villoresi goes through back into the points, but his race has certainly been compromised. It'll only be 2 points, assuming he finishes there, which will close the gap on Alberto Ascari into 2 points at the top of the Drivers' Championship. But Ascari, a second place at Monza, would do it regardless of where anybody else finishes. Although he's not going to be starting in second, of course, he could be starting a long way back. Here comes Piero Taruffi. He is going across the line. And Piero Taruffi is victorious in Zandvoort. And from how much is made about Ascari and Villoresi, Piero Taruffi is now only 4 behind Ascari, 2 behind Villoresi. The world champion has dragged his way back into the fight, and he is going to have a chance going into Monza. So Taruffi then, he knows his job. His job simply is to win this Italian Grand Prix for the second year in a row. He did it in Germany. Can he do it here? That is his job, and Taruffi is away well. But look at that, Laurent is coming up alongside, and I think Transignon is missing out a bit there, and Taruffi now got to fight off that other Ferrari. Laurent hasn't been up there very much this season, not in that high in the top 2, but Laurent briefly at least takes the lead. But Taruffi and Transignon now are coming back in. Can Rogerlaurent hold on to the lead going into turn 1? Yes, he can, and Taruffi down into second place. Now this switches championship situation around, and Jeanbehra is off already. He was in fourth. Well, that's 1 position gained for Luigi Villoresi. He is up in the 4th place. And that is how things stand at the moment. Looking back for Ascari. Where is Ascari? How has his race started? Still can't find him. What's happened? He's out. That is Ascari there. He is out of the race. So Alberto Ascari, his championship now rests solely in the mercy of what might happen elsewhere. If Taruffi and Villoresi finish up where they are at the minute, there's no way Ascari can win this world championship. Ascari, unfortunately, he's had a great season. Looked at the start of the season like he was going to dominate it, but somehow it is all unravelled. And I think once again, when Ascari starts in the pack, he gets caught up in too many incidents, and that has been seen again today. Ascari out of the race, not necessarily out of the championship, but if things stay as they are at the moment, he certainly will be. And Laurent still leading. Can he hold on and win this race? That would be quite a remarkable result for the Belgian. Had some solid podiums, but hasn't looked like the fastest Ferrari driver at any point, really. And here, Taruffi is trying to show that that is the case again, because if Piero Taruffi can get back into the lead, it will give him a bit more security up against Luigi Villoresi, and Taruffi is going through. He has got the superior speed there, and through goes Piero Taruffi into the lead, into P1, and this now makes it look very strong. He could be a double world champion, and he would be the first double world champion and only the third year of the world championship. Laurent was looking to come back there, but in the end has to tuck in behind, runs a little bit wide, has to then tuck in behind Taruffi, and Villoresi is up into third place. Taruffi at the moment still on course to be a double world champion, but there is still so much of the race left to go, and Laurent has made a bit of a mistake there, and that is going to put Villoresi on his tail. Well, this now might change the world championship, because Villoresi has got in the position, he has got the chance surely now to attack Roger Laurent. It might not come yet, but Villoresi, he will stay cool. He is an experienced campaigner. He knows that he has got time. Piero Taruffi, he knows that he has the gap, but ultimately if Villoresi gets in the second, there will be nothing he can do. Villoresi certainly has the pace over him, but not the track position yet. Villoresi needs that track position in order to win the world championship, and he is hunting it down, but Laurent at the moment still holds that second place. I think we've got one lap left to go after this one, but Villoresi now is getting alongside, and he's going to dive for it. Is Villoresi going through? He is. Luigi Villoresi into the lead. Gets a little bit slidey, a little bit widey, but he has managed to hold on to the car. And Luigi Villoresi, he just felt the moment was right to take the gamble. He's done that. He is in the second place. As things stand at the moment, Luigi Villoresi will be world champion, and he will prevent Piero Taruffi from becoming the first double world champion. Well, this has changed things around quite a bit, hasn't it? Luigi Villoresi is still catching up to Piero Taruffi. Will he have a look at trying to win the race? Is it worth the gamble? In Villoresi, I think he decides no, he's a bit too far back in the end anyway. Taruffi wants to make sure that if he's not going to win the championship, he at least wants to win the Italian Grand Prix for a second year in a row. And Piero Taruffi is coming down now to do that, and he is going to win the Italian Grand Prix. But behind him, Luigi Villoresi becomes the world champion of 1952.